Pipejacking is an efficient and economical trenchless solution for sewer and water pipe installations when surface access is unfeasible. This method eliminates the costly disruptions and restorations caused by open trench pipe installation. One method of pipejacking is performed using the Akkerman tunnel boring machine, TBM, and an all-in-one tunnel boring system. The versatile system is used to accurately install many types and lengths of 48 to 96-inch jacking pipe or liners like liner plate or rib and board using the appropriately sized TBM. With this, contractors can complete various projects using just one equipment investment. After the launch shaft has been prepared to the design-appropriate site configuration, the equipment is lowered into place. The first step in any pipe jacking project is to prepare the shafts on line and grade. Next, the skid bases get lowered into the shaft, which are configurable for various shafts and pipe lengths. The thrust block and shaft floor are engineered to bear jacking forces and the weight of the equipment. The tunnel boring system relies on the pump unit to provide hydraulic power to advance the TBM in tunnel. It is lowered on the back of the skid, allowing room for the laser stand. The thrust yoke is also lowered on the skid, matches the pipe diameter, and provides a 360-degree surface to minimize point pressure on the pipe. It assists in transferring thrust from the pump unit to the TBM and pipe as pipe jacking progresses. The TBM is positioned with the cutter head facing toward the tunnel entry point. The tunnel alignment is maintained using a passive pipe laser guidance system. It is positioned between the back of the pump unit and the thrust block, over the skids. This position protects it from movement caused by pipe jacking. The pipe laser sights down the tunnel onto the cutter head at the tunnel's centerline. Hose connections are made from the pump unit to the TBM for power, hydraulic supply, and bentonite. A conveyor is part of the spoil conveyance process. It transports spoil from the cutter head to the dirt bucket on the haul unit. The haul unit travels on track in the base of the tunnel and transports the dirt bucket from the tunnel to the reception shaft for disposal. The haul unit operator controls the haul unit movements and travels on the operator platform to accompany the dirt bucket for spoil removal. Power, communication, ventilation, and bentonite lines run along the top of the tunnel. Hydraulic supply hoses run alongside the haul unit track on the tunnel floor. Once all are connected, mining may commence. A typical pipe jacking crew consists of 4 members responsible for TBM operation, haul unit operation, pump unit operation, and dirt bucket management. The TBM operator controls steering, maintains line and grade, and monitors the spoil removal process from the internal control console. After the TBM is launched and buried, a section of pipe is added behind it. The pipe string is advanced by transferring force from the hydraulic jacking cylinders to the yoke's thrust ring to the pipe string to the TBM. This causes ground engagement. When the TBM's hydraulic motors rotate the inner drum, the rotating cutter head excavates clockwise. Excavated spoil enters the holes on the rotating cutter head, is forced onto the paddles behind it, and falls onto the conveyor belt. The conveyor belt transports spoil to the dirt bucket. When the dirt bucket is full, there is a power cut, and the haul unit operator guides it along the track to the launch shaft for disposal. While the dirt bucket gets transported out to the launch shaft, there is space for the TBM operator to lower the conveyor to check tunnel alignment. With the conveyor lowered, the laser emanating from the pipe laser stand will have a clear path to the cutter bar target bolt. The crew adjusts the TBM roll so that the level bar indicates that the TBM is level and adjustments can be made. The operator then moves the conveyor back up to resume mining. The crew member hooks chains to the lift eyes and hoists the dirt bucket to the surface for emptying. Then, the dirt bucket lift eyes are hooked to the chains and lowered back into the shaft for travel back to the filling position halfway under the conveyor. The pipe jacking sequence continues as tunnel lines are disconnected, additional pipe and haul unit track is added, utility lines are reconnected, the hydraulic cylinders apply thrust, forward advancement occurs, spoil is excavated, and alignment is checked and maintained until the tunnel is completed. Intermediate jacking stations, IJSs, distribute thrust loads and facilitate longer pipe jacking drives. IJSs are used when the thrust pressure reaches 1/3 of the maximum pressure capacity of the pump unit or half of the thrust capacity of the IJS. The IJS housing matches the outside diameter of the pipe, and interior ram stations exert additional thrust tonnage and alleviate pressures on the main hydraulic jacking cylinders. Additional IJSs can be added to the tunnel as needed. The TBM cutter head is selected based on the project ground conditions. The cutter head tooling comprises gauge cutter bits, clay spades, disc cutters, or other project-specific tooling. The dirt bar and carbide quad bar cutter heads are best for dry, dewatered ground and feature spade and bullet bit tooling. They come standard with each TBM purchase and can be swapped in the ground. Optional closed-face cutter heads are used in unstable ground to prevent subsidence into the TBM using hydraulically operated doors. Custom-built disc cutter heads for rock are also available. TBM emerges into the reception shaft and breaks through the ground. Akkerman develops, manufactures, and supports advanced underground construction equipment systems that accurately install pipe in an extensive range of ground conditions and project challenges. Since 1973, our industry-leading equipment has enabled contractors worldwide to install water, wastewater, and other infrastructure accurately, productively, and cost-effectively. Contact our team of experts today to discuss your next trenchless project.